Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. Today is sunny, today is hot, today is a little bit tormented, today is somewhat miserable, today is somewhat windy also. So speaking of a little bit miserable, I see so many persons who are coming online and are being very vocal when it comes to politics, when it comes to what's taking place coming up to the election day that is brewing. And, many persons are voicing their opinion and we accept people voicing their opinion and people are free to express themselves. However, we are forgetting that it is very important for us to respect each other. It's very important for us to remember that we are civilized people in Jamaica and not wild animals or behaving like brute beasts. We see we're in Mother Love, a man who goes by the name Mother Love because he's always speaking on taking care of his mother, cooking for his mother, doing all the necessary things that, he has to do for his mother who is elderly and seemingly, I think, bound to a wheelchair or something like that. So many persons were always in support of him and giving him credit. However, he had made some threatening remarks about persons who decide to vote for someone else besides the People's National Party. And he has threatened the life of persons, saying that he has weaponry, guns, this, that, and the third. And if his person does not win from Balaclava area, then, bloodshed, people gonna die, this and that's going to happen. And he has been arrested and formally charged. Many persons are on the social media space and are saying that what happened to freedom of speech if Andrew Holness is going to go around and arrest so many persons for their freedom of speech and all these type of things. And I'm wondering and I'm curious if people know that Andrew Holness is not law enforcement. Andrew Holness did not arrest anybody. The commissioner of police has a duty to order an arrest once something is illegal, deemed illegal, posting on social media, especially when it comes to crime. And might I add that in many countries, including the great United States, that would be regarded as a terrorist threat. And of all the charges you want to have on you, being a terrorist or a terrorist threat is not something that you would want on your name, because the first thing is going to be revoked is your freedom. That's number one. And if not, your traveling documents such as your passport, your driver's license, all these type of things come into play, which will be revoked. You will be red flagged anywhere you go. If you leave the state to another state, eyes will be on you all day, every day. That's not something that you want to be on you. I am not sure if Jamaican people understand the importance of respecting the sovereignty of Jamaica and respecting its citizens. Do you guys even respect yourself? Because if you respect yourself and you're thinking about your safety, you know that someone making a statement like that will not only perhaps take out persons who are associated with the Jamaica Labour Party, but people who are associated with the PNP or the People's National Party can become casualty of it also. Whatever violence or whatever gun attack that he decides that he's going to push or met out onto civilians. So what the hell are you guys talking about? What the hell are you guys talking about? Are you not cautious of the law? Are you not cautious of humanity, human decency, respecting the rights of each other? You guys just are not concerned about it, and you believe that once a person is associated with a particular political party, they are within their right. People believe that this freedom of speech argument stands for just about anything. There is no freedom of anything in completion. Everything there is what? Limitations and boundaries. In everything there is what? Stipulation. There are caveats. You understand? There are certain policies that you have to adhere to. With freedom comes specific obligations. There are things that you will have to adhere to with freedom of speech. So if you're going to come in the public and say, oh, I feel like shooting up this or taking my AK and we have this and that, and if my party don't win or you don't vote for my MP or vote for someone in my party to become an MP, people are going dead and we are going to blaze up place and anybody going to get it from the other party. In what world of which planet the society would accept something like that as freedom of speech, knowing that this person is sending out a deadly threat to the mass of the people? So I'm wondering, are you guys even aware? Do you have the sense of awareness? Because it seems as if, listen, let's be frank. They said that there are five senses to the human body that makes up the body faculty. But to be honest, there are far more. You have the sense of reasoning, you have the sense of communication, you have the sense of awareness. You understand me? And with the sense of awareness, human intelligence should be able to identify right from wrong, good from bad, even if the rule of law versus the rule of nature comes into play. You are a human being, and the reason you are not regarded as a lower class animal is your ability to identify right from wrong, make rational decisions, especially in critical times. Now, as I always go back to Charles Darwin, in his theory or in his manifesto, he said that black people were three-fifths human beings because they are unable to make critical decisions, they can't advance, and so forth. And I certainly do not agree with the theorem of Charles Darwin. But there are way too many of you people who display the theory and is actually proving it. Because in 2025, you should know better. And if you are full-grown adults and you don't know better, how do you expect teenagers and children to automatically know better? I see Miss Tanya Stevens, former reggae singer Tanya Stevens, on her live, and she's constantly speaking about Jamaica Labour Party, saying that they're illiterate, they're dunce, they're stupid, you can't communicate with them. And she said that she had a discussion. She didn't know that she could have a discussion with a Labourite. Tanya, many people aren't interested in having a discussion with you. You look rather frightening. That's number one. And number two, if your conversation is very objective or very dismissive, or you are having a conversation with the intention to object to every single thing, then people simply are just going to turn their back when they see you. Maybe you're not worth addressing or worth communicating with. And these are things that you have to look into. I'm sorry. So I do not know where this notion comes from about the Jamaica Labour Party. People are illiterate and they're this, they're that. Funny, it's very few of you who share that. And you know, the average person is not just going to believe that. You understand me? So I just think that you're saying something, and if you represent intelligence, then I question what intelligence means. Because oftentimes you're on your live and you're using so many expletives, so many distasteful expletives to get your point across. And if you say that you're intelligent, I would think that you would have another way wherein you could express yourself or get your point across and made it clear to your audience without using constant expletives. Yes, again, back to freedom of speech, but at the same time, there's something called respectability. So if you're catering to people who you actually want to listen to you and understand what you're saying, and you're trying to reach a broader audience, you might want to what? Tone down on the expletives. That's number one. You notice how I speak, and I speak in the Queen's language. My reason for doing so is not because I rather English. My reason for doing so because I love patois. I love me patois. My reason for doing it is because I'm trying to reach a wider audience, and the wider audience don't necessarily speak patois. They aren't necessarily Jamaicans. And because I want to reach a wider audience, then I use what? Standard English, so people can understand what I'm trying to say. You understand? So that's how it worked, Tanya. Another person who came on is this Rastaman who is constantly being disrespectful. Say he's another one using a whole lot of expletives, but at the same time, you're calling people from the Jamaica Labour Party stupid, illiterate, and all these type of things. And you're a grown-ass man who is old enough to be somebody's, looking like somebody's grandfather, seemingly. But at the same time, this is how you come on the internet and present yourself and try to get your point across. I'm of the belief that many Jamaican people believe strongly that when they use distasteful expletives, it brings fear, intimidation, or it solidifies their argument, and one will automatically believe or support what they are going to say through fear and intimidation. That's what I'm thinking. But it's not making you look really good. It's not really making you look classy. It's making you look like a lower class individual, a second class person. Because if you're going into certain establishment or a certain setting, clearly you cannot express yourself like that, or security will throw your ass out. You understand me? You will have to point to the exit, because they're going to say that you're what? Disrespectful. Even if it calls are okay with that, constantly doing it, persons are going to be very uncomfortable in the setting, and they will consider it disrespectful. Now, if you're having a chit chat with your buddies or your friends at a place, at a park, and you want to come out and you want to say things, that's fine. But when you're on the internet and you're speaking on particular subject matter, I don't see the necessity of it. But here's the thing. I will not necessarily blame PNP persons because JLP persons are known to do the same thing. But here's the trick. It's PNP persons who are calling Jamaica Labour Party or JLP persons illiterate and dunce. And they don't know how to act, they don't know how to behave, they don't know how to conduct themselves. But here lies you guys on the internet, and you are the embodiment of it. You are the embodiment of the illiteracy that you speak of. So you might want to brush up on it. You understand me? And many persons are talking about corruption and this 28 bank account. No, if the Integrity Commission could not identify it, could not solidify their argument, if they hire a whole forensic at a place at a part, somewhere down under, below us, not far away from us, to be forensic to investigate the Prime Minister's accounts and what they are about and this and that, and they could not come up with any finding. Why are you people holding on to dear life and using that as a tooth in horn, the tooth in horn to win an election? It's not taking. It's like a what? Bad perm. It's just not going to take. So I think you guys should find something else, because we know the tactics. Usually up to an election, you will come up with a scandal that you will push. You understand me? We know the Jamaica Labour Party did it with the traffic bureau and stuff like that. So we are aware of it. So we are aware of the tactics that you know, politics in and of itself, they use in order to cement themselves to a win in an election. However, this 28 bank account is not taking. You guys are constantly speaking about it, and the argument have been rubbish for so long, but you guys are reiterating it. I mean, someone is telling you, obviously, to keep pushing it straight into the election, but it's not going to work because the 28 bank accounts are where? You understand me? I see Mr. Vegas coming out, and he's somewhere in Europe, and he was speaking on land and saying that he's going to buy a plot of land. And when you guys start your civil war or your social unrest or your civil unrest, he's going to go somewhere. You alone will be left in it. I'm cautioning Jamaican people to be mindful that intelligence still keeping. You're sending your children to school to what? Speak like me. You're also sending your children to school to be what? Intelligent. Or are you sending them to school to behave worse than you? Sorry, you're sending your children to school to conduct themselves with a great deal of respect, to be outstanding men and women of tomorrow. And so it is imperative that you remember that respect is still keeping, education is still keeping, intelligence is still keeping, and human decency, civility, respecting each other is still keeping. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day. God bless you.